A few days ago, I was talking with a colleague about how our clinical practice became crossed by the current pandemic. For those of us who dedicated ourselves to psychoanalysis, I think that perhaps we have first the task of overcoming amazement, surprise, or shock that such circumstance like the current one generates. And then we can think about our work. Strictly speaking, if there is something that distinguishes the ethic of psychoanalysis, it is to go back of what was said or did. It is due to our best interests not to abandon reflection. For example, how to deal this time with the online resource when we will meet with a boy or a girl. We think that the function of play as structural in structuring. The game precedes childhood, and this condition does not stop even when the meeting for reason of force majeure is not the face-to-face situation, which is, of course, the most desirable situation. But given this exceptional moment, it is necessary for professionals in many cases not to interrupt the treatments. This current circumstance perhaps will lead us to conduct treatments from virtual platforms. The game precedes childhood, and that game has certain limits. Those limits are designed in relation to the expression of the parents. What that is mean? It means that the parents take responsibility of their relationship with these limits, and their limits are relative to the castration of the parent. We have had the opportunity to discuss the inconvenience that arise when young boys and girls are in front of the device while playing. I would like to make a distinction when little boys and girls play with their analysts instead. In the case of the virtual device game, when the games come from the device, one can suppose that there, in that game, everything is written beforehand. In that sense, the game of the virtual device is predetermined. It is not wrong, does not hesitate, and so on. That game is not castrated. When the game space is enabled by us, this game takes place there. It is a game that can be wrong, can hesitate, can doubt. In short, it is a game that been supported, delimited, proposed, and made possible by us. The game is castrated. That is a difference that I find interesting to point out because even though we are lending or living prison under this virtual modality, we are contributing with the lack of our side, which without a doubt makes a difference. And there is another question about how important is for the consoling parents of a child to ask if the analysts they consoling hold that position. Perhaps the presence in this particular form, which is virtuality, also has a calming or supportive effects for the parents who are immersed in a very peculiar situation because they stay much longer at home, taking charge of school tasks at the moment, working as intermediaries between the school dimension and their child. So let us think that is important to maintain this presence of the professional who received the consultation. Of course, I insist on the consent. the family, or the treatment continuity, because that continuity can go to the benefit of tranquility, support, and a feeling of accommodation for the parents themselves, being supported by someone who is there, still listen, and taking care of certain problems that were the ones that started their consultation in the first place.